done a petition because the cat, I don't know, Felix or whatever they call the cat, was messing up as Mr. He was a brat of a cat, and he wanted to get him out of his area. So I put up a petition for him and do.
Oh, you did?
I did. And Charles then, God rest his soul, Charles, a lovely man, a very, very holy man. But he was a gas fitter, and he'd be given out to the boys for the bad language and what they'd be saying and that. So he very Christ-like. So he got on well with them anyway, but he wasn't able to help me, but he wasn't in the building game. So it was great to have him there anyway. So I tripped it up in a couple of days. It was my job to be able to do that sort of thing. So that was it. And Kathleen then, it was a blessing that got out of that place, because she got scourged with the basements of these places flood.
Oh, and the basement did?
Oh, it was a terrible
Where
sickness.
they live?
So they've got selling it, and they're in a lovely apartment now. But I think in the last week or so, she was in the hospital again. So she's kind of up and down. But she turned on the 16th of May. She turned 87.
87. Oh.
So she was 4 years younger than me.
Kathleen's the baby.
She was the baby.
Right. Okay.
And unfortunately, her mother died when she was 6 months old. She was born 16th of May, and our mother died in November.
Yeah.
And it was a whole sad effect, because our mother was in England all her life, and she was with a family called Shepherds, who were, the husband was a financier, so she was good. And they were just after getting married, and my mum was there with them till their family was reared. That's as long as she... And the doctor that was attached to that family was a brilliant young man. And he told Mrs. Shepherd exactly what was going to happen. She'd go back to Ireland, marry, and she'd have 1, 2, 3 and 4. And she'd die on the birth of the 4th.
Oh my goodness.
And that's exactly what happened.
He said that before? He knew?
He knew. He was brilliant. She had a pernicious anemia was the medical term for it, and that was for our blood corpuscles, the white and red blood corpuscles, and that one, it devoured the other as quick as it was made. So that was a disaster. So going back to Ireland was a disaster for her.
Oh.
And it was, and Aunt Kate was her husband's brother, or sister, and it broke her heart.
Your father was Peter.
Peter, yeah. And he come home. He was dealing with a specialist in cancer in Hume Street, and the other man was over here. Other places only over here in Highfield Road, the St. Luke's, and it was, I don't know. They do it. It's cancer hospital, needless to say.
Yeah.
But a doctor friend of ours, jumping from one thing to another, a doctor friend of ours that we knew in Ballsbridge, and he was Eustace, and there's a street in Dublin named after the family, and he was 47 years in Guinness's, the doctor, and he was a storyteller. He was a great character. And he adopted Tommy and I. He was 5 years older than Tommy. He was born in 1907, June, and he almost made the thing. He almost made 95. And of course, it was an old blooming nuisance that he did. He first fell and broke ribs going down to the kitchen in his house, and got over them, and then he broke his hip.
Wow.
So hip was a disaster.
Yeah.
So he died from that, but he was in the college over down here in what do you call it? It's called I forget the name of the place there, but it was off Hampton Road anyway, the Royal Hospital or that, and he was lost control of himself, and he'd be bawling and shouting. And amazing at that. That's the way he went off. But he lost control. He was boss of everything. He was 3 times president of the golf club over the
golf club.
Market. So he was a character. And he drove. I was with him indeed out, and I was afraid of my life of him. He was driving when he was that age, and I was afraid of my life of him. And I was pretty good driver at that time, but he drove out onto the main road and almost went straight into another car. But he was so good, he instead of pulling up, he drove up. And he wouldn't have... The other fella was paralysed behind the wheel, but it showed how good... The other fella was surprised how good a driver he was. Like that, he shot up. And I seen the same thing with a woman driving a Rolls Royce out in Loughlinstown. And she come into a crash situation, and she would... These cars could move. And she had the judgment to get. I think women drivers are far superior to men. Your daddy wouldn't like to hear that said, but I think they have a better nerve and a better judgment. They can,
Make a quick decision.
make decision and a good decision.
Maybe you should drive.
We tend to be very aware of our surroundings.
Yeah.
That's
Is Russ still driving good? He is.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I would say so.
He was here. Himself and Eileen was here. And there was one here at the time, Pt.3, and there was Richard Ryan, and Richard Ryan was a footballer. And I said to him, look, Rod, you wouldn't want to go on the field with this one or you were in ribbons. The way he looked at him, So he was. So she married anyway, and a great pile of them here. And I get Christmas cards yet from Bridie Maguire and Geraldine. And their father was in the same business as we were in building. But he was caught between the two sources, Catholic and Protestant in the north. And he was a great diplomat. So he was able to balance between the two.
Both, wow.
And there was more, if the hatreds, if you like, as funeral hours. So he was a great character. And Willie was his name, and he was a great character. But Bridie married this lugger from England. He had a good job in the bank. That's how she met up with him. And he had his own home at Farnsbury, with that airport babies in England. And he had one disaster. Good husband, but he had an idea. And I knew, he told me originally that he didn't get on with the staff because they looked at him as a lunatic. Setting up a business, dangerous, treacherous, unless you know what you're about.
Yes.
And that's what he was. So he set up one business, bang, it went. Set up another, bang, it went. And the third one he set up, he took up to the drink. Bridie had to take him to the court. So she got, I think 50,000 was the settlement then. So she had a boy and a girl. They'd be probably married now. So Brighton's, I got the chance anyway. Tom, Willie and they were over, and he was sitting with his backside, standing at the fire in number 9 at the time. And it would have been, I suppose, the mid-80s of that. And this fellow was sicking me when I come in. I was walking over another part of that place, and he was blathering about this business, how he could set up a business. Sicking me the minute I heard him. And I was sorry I didn't have got the chance, because I knew him well, David. That I didn't say, yes, you'd have Bridie going with a little dog and a bag on her back, and the two offsprings with her. That's what you'll end up with, which I should have said, because I knew he was going to do that and that. So I wouldn't have been trying to do that, but he was a good husband, but this how it goes. A good husband